for the love of your life, stop. They will be waiting for you when you start doing things you love. Stop overanalyzing. Life is simple. If you don't like something, change it. If you don't like your job, quit. If you don't have enough time, stop watching TV. Life is simple. If you're looking for the love of your life, stop. They will be waiting for you when you start doing things you love. Stop overanalyzing. Life is simple.
All right, Mike is good to go over here. Beautiful. Got the stream running. Perfect. All right. What's up, everyone? Morning. I see we got Joe, Sen, Karen, Omar. What's up, Saeed, Amy, Seth, Edgar, Michael, Brandon, Luis, PG. Got Greg in the house, Patrick, Corey, Puccini, Omar, Salvador. Welcome, everyone. Omar Jordan. Need that playlist. This one is an easy one. Let's see. Hold on. Let me make sure you guys can see my screen now, right? Yeah. All right. Yeah. We had this one playing right here. Liquid Labs, Volume 11. Check that one out. Okay. So this is going to be a pretty busy week. Today we have, New York Open here in about 8 minutes. We then have a news event. Hold on. Skirt. Here we go. So today we have New York Open, and then from there, no scheduled news. But considering everything going on, we got tariffs, announcements. You have the big beautiful bill. Few things Trump related that could definitely create some volatility in the markets. So let's lock in with that as well. We'll be mindful of any updates. So I would expect volatility despite no official high impact news over here. From there, we have Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. Be mindful that on Thursday we will have NFP. So Thursday we're going to have NFP a little early, considering Friday is the 4th of July, which is a bank holiday in the U.S. So be mindful of all that. And with that being said, doing an update here with metals, with gold overall and silver. Our silver opportunity from last week, I don't remember if it was on the exclusive Zoom call that we did for the Tradetopia community, or if it was during the YouTube live stream. But either way, we talked about, I think it was on the Zoom call, but we talked about gold and silver, and I avoided buying gold. It was hovering around this area, avoided that. I wanted to see, there's a couple things. One, and I dropped a post on this in the community, but we saw and we had an imbalance. We had a nice little drop before the market rallied. This goes back to May. And then at the same time, we were looking at silver, and silver had a whole bunch of liquidity. It got swept up on June 24th, and silver was just dropping way less aggressively. So considering we had that divergence, if you guys notice, we see higher lows here. So you see that there, versus gold definitely making lower lows briefly. Gold ate this up and then now is starting to rally. So right now, what I'm more mindful of is just price action, seeing if how far back we're gonna go. We already saw the market come back into this imbalance, rejected it really nicely from this area. Right, it's whether do we come back to trade in this imbalance, or does the market continue to the upside? Looks like silver is kind of slightly wanting to go a bit more bullish compared to gold. You can see gold here. It might want to still work its way down over here. So curious to see if we have gold drop a little bit more imbalance. Maybe it goes down and then up, or we just rally. So these metals are looking good. I am in a buy from over here. So my exit point right now is actually this little order block right there. I'm not looking to sell here, but I am going to take profit here. And then if you guys notice, you have some support, order block. There's a combination of things here. So some strong levels around this area. I want to see how the market can reverse. And I'm keeping an eye out on gold as well when it it gets to this point. So assuming that the market can continue going in our favor, this is where I'm looking to take my money. All right, so natural gas. Let's go take a look at natural gas. I know we haven't quite gotten to indices yet, but we will. Don't you worry. Natural gas, on the other hand, here just got into our zone for the buys. As fast as it went up, it also came back down. Now this moved to the downside. It did happen very quickly. I don't love that, but considering that the way we dropped down to here was such an aggressive 4-hour move, like a higher time frame movement, I do think there's a chance that we can get some sort of buys out of this zone. I really would have preferred the market to stay up here for much longer. We do get a nice drop into this area, this range. The market doesn't seem to want to stay in this area. We see that by the way that it drops down, comes right back up. So we are starting to see the potential mitigation. So with a move like this, I think we can now. We're looking at this on the 1 hour time frame, but if we can get a good reaction, which we're already starting to see a bounce. So hopefully some of you, if you like this trade, maybe you already decided to take this position for whatever reason. My alerts didn't really go off, or if they did, it didn't pop up for me. It still says they're doing maintenance. I don't understand why it's saying that. Anyone else getting that still? Maintenance alerts. So from here, yeah. So the buys are okay. I wouldn't say this is a 10 out of 10 setup. The way in which we worked our way over, worked our way to these highs. We end the week up here, but then we gap down. We trade here for a bit during Asian session, gap down some more. So conservatively, if we're going to get a good move, I'd say we're going to get a trade up into maybe this range instead. This is just like a high probability exit. Can it keep going higher? I guess we'll see. If you're going to take the position now, you do have to accept the fact that your risk reward isn't going to be as nice. So again, this comes down to individual decisions on how this is going to roll. Is there still a chance that this can go and push all the way up to here still? I think so. I think we can still get something like this. It really is going to make a difference on just how this continues to move right now. So unfortunately for me, had I just 5 minutes ago been more active here, maybe we could have had a better trade. I'm not going to take this right now. It's just I guess the cost of, I don't know, not being on time for this position. If I do get a pullback again, then I will take it. But as of right now, just see if the market wants to give me an opportunity. Okay. Now, with that being said, let's go take a look at indices because we have New York Open officially happening in this exact moment. So let's go take a look at this. We're seeing indices start to move their way down on open, at least NASDAQ so far. And we're looking at Dow Jones also pushing to the downside. NASDAQ with a stronger move down, starting to push below this. Here we have London session lows. So let's go ahead and just highlight these here. So London session, this is London lows. London lows, SHLS, that is, I think, a solar stock. Yeah, and then London lows actually happened a little bit later on for Dow. Here, so London still is holding up its liquidity. Right over here. And as highlighted, this is where we had the market open. Right there. So this is Asian session open here, and then it rallies. This is definitely something we want to be able to see. So here I have just Dow, the mini chart. So here's the Asian low and Asian open. Here's the London session. Now, my question for you all is, what are you looking for? in order to take a position. You know, do you want to trade out of this level? Actually, hold on. It's right there. I actually marked this incorrectly. Here we go. How did I miss that the first time? So is it that we want to trade out of this, mitigate this with all this imbalance? I want to see opportunities below this level. So same thing when we look at NASDAQ. NASDAQ is already trading below this London session. Seems like it's going to be a bit more bearish overall. Here we have the weekly open / Asian low. It looks to me like we could see the market maybe get below this, give us some good discounts, get a better price. And if Dow Jones is going to be way slower to move to the downside, then I would want to take a position with Dow over here. So here we see it gap down and then rally. There is a little chance. There's not a lot of liquidity that builds up here, so maybe it wants to trade out of this specifically. But I would be more focused on trading below the opens, letting this rebalance, letting this work its way to these levels before it goes. So that's my take right now. I'm very much waiting it out. If we look at NQ, could this right now it's bullish on every time frame except for I guess the 1 minute time frame. Only the 1 minute time frame is currently seeing lower lows. But that's it. And that's just right now. We're seeing this go down. So maybe there's selling opportunities later on, but we want to let the market just really, really give us enough data. And Q here, leading the way. Natural gas looks like it's mitigating nicely. Moving on up. The move to the downside was a move like this, so if we get a nice continuation like this, no pullback at all, then what the heck? Let's see, continue to fill some of this imbalance. This is a good reversal. JER 40 going off right now. All right, let's see what JER 40 is doing. So JER 40, where did it make it down to? Okay, rebalancing. Nice. Sweep higher. We are starting to see a 15-minute low here. So at some point, maybe we get a pullback with Germany's index. And maybe we can see a short up in this range here. So this is like a nice sell zone for German index. And oh, actually, I meant to see. Are you guys getting this maintenance issue, or is this just me? No maintenance alerts on mine. All right, so it must be something on my end. Great move on XAG. Hit it 1 to 3. Nice. Friday hit it 1 to 2. I rose from the dead. Good to see you, Michael. Vaughn, what's good, bro? What's happening? Silver is lagging. I'm staying out. What do you mean? Oh, the trade is already active on silver. What does that mean exactly? Were you looking for a different setup? What are you cooking up over there? What are you working on? What's good, Gio? What's happening, G? Yeah, so right now, guys, we are taking a look at overall just how markets are moving, indices. We're seeing Germany start to play into its level. And German index has an interesting trade down here. So this happened. And the only reason I'm looking at this, I don't really trade German index too much. But it definitely has some good correlation with just the other indices. And this happens Thursday New York session, so I wonder if we get into the zone and we can see a nice play out of this. So I'm going to keep an eye on German index. We'll see how this is moving along. It's kind of dropping pretty well. So let's see what happens here. And now we're trading into like that mid Asian session range. Dow Jones finally taking out the London session lows right over here, playing right into the imbalance, just shy of where the market opens down here and then fills that in its first 5 minutes. So kind of trading into this imbalance, previous structure. Here right now, the fact that we only cleared London session liquidity, and NASDAQ also just trades into some of this consolidation. I'm not fully... I want to see how the market continues to move before making any decisions. I'm not taking a buy yet. I think that the market could easily target the weekly open and the Asian low from kind of where it's at right now. So not enough liquidity swept, in my opinion, if we're going to take what we call the shakeout setup. I mean, yeah, if you're not confident on pushing any buttons, definitely, get the reps back in, get that confidence back. Especially if you've been away for a month or so, then no reason to rush back into things. Ruben, looking for a buy in GU, just have some liquidity. Okay. Yeah, let's go take a look at some majors. Why not? Let's look at some majors. Silver holding up decent. Okay, so GU cleaning up a little bit here. Okay. So GU has just taken out one. Okay, so let's zoom out a little bit more. We've been pretty bullish. The market on Thursday during London started to create a consolidation range, so we're kind of in that. It looks like a version of a distribution here, and then throughout London again, we saw the market rebalance, and then it looks like it kind of wants to create a smaller time frame distro. So what we know for sure is that after Monday, we swept some lows on the higher time frames, so we end up clearing out a price here. From here, we rally. And on the 4 hour, we are bullish. So 4 hour bullish, everything is bullish, except for a few key things here. So with that being said, and we want to organize our thoughts, we know there's an eventuality that the market wants to rebalance this and looks like potentially mitigate this as well. So when GU is doing this, we know, okay, at some point we can work our way down here. Does it mean it needs to happen now? Does it mean it needs to happen now? We have GBP USD currently get below, and you guys can look at, if you're on futures, look at 6B. It gets below Friday's New York session low. It trades into Wednesday's Asian session. And we still have liquidity over here. So I feel like we haven't really cleared out too much liquidity, to at least not for me, to look for a position or anything quite yet with GBP USD. What does pique my interest a bit more, just quickly check in on this here. Okay. What does pique my interest a little more could be actually some sells. We have GU clear these highs, get above. If the market ends up establishing some bearish structure, could be looking for some shorts with the majors in general, but we can take a look at other majors too. It's not just about GU, Euro. If anything, what looks pretty decent, we had GBP USD or NZD USD sweep liquidity. So now we're looking at NZD 6N, and clears out a whole bunch of liquidity on Friday. From here, this eats all this up. So definitely we can see that this just, all of these buys get swept up there. and then the market continues. We are definitely, I'm not convinced on bullish structure here. So we're kind of battling between what has more weight. Is this losing, because it loses demand here, but it also loses demand over here. Now we are naturally more bullish, but right now there's like very little confirmation on both ends. If we look at GU though, GU is definitely leaning at the moment more towards the downside. So if GBP USD were to keep trading low like this, then sells could make sense. If we look at Euro, still more consolidation. The highs up here, very low demand. So you can look at this over here. So everything over here, we have low demand. So low. So you see that. So not quite convincing. Same thing over here. So it's like this is the tug of war right now. Okay. Look at this. All right. From there, we then have Australian here. Actually pretty bullish. Starting to really fly. So we saw AUD USD sweep lows, get all the way down to here, work its way up. The market loses momentum when it drops again. So overall, it does look to me like we're seeing it kind of looks like, yeah, it kind of looks like the dollar and XXX USD pairs want to trade higher. So GU, right, sweeping liquidity. Euro sweeping its own version, its own lows. These are all London session lows. Clears that out. Asian session low. The only thing I don't really have is an entry point exactly. So let's see if there's something more specific with other pairs. USD CAD, USD CHF, and USD JPY. USD CHF looks like a whole bunch of liquidity here. There's a lot of retail sells over there. USD JPY, not as much. USD CAD here. Why don't you want to do this? Okay. So right now, if we zoom out a little bit, couple key things to look at with USD CAD. It's building up retail buyers here. The market sweeps the highs, plays out of this order block. We see price come up to here, not to make a higher high, but to lose momentum. So we may have selling opportunities here because this is the break. Now the market comes back to retest here, so it's building up more buyers. There's definitely tons of liquidity here. I could see USD CAD working its way higher, and then looking to short where we've seen some key levels, whether it's right there, maybe it's a little higher, but yeah, these look like some pretty key areas, and then you can look to sweep some of this, maybe trade down into here or something. So USD CAD, if the dollar's going to gain strength, you see it's working its way higher, or the CAD is losing strength, this could be an opportunity. So I want a little bit more detail. Now let's go back to indices. Indices here, I'm seeing we still have NASDAQ creating more liquidity here. So I don't think we're done dropping. So you see that right there. Okay. Now, I'm not here to say that we need to necessarily drop all the way down to here. We may just target these lows here. I want to see what happens if NASDAQ clears liquidity here and then where that takes Dow. Because if Dow Jones, so Dow already has swept up London. So we might see this right here is giving us the classic sweeps liquidity and now is kind of like, consolidating, luring in some more sellers, the break and retest traders. So that's what we're getting right now with Dow Jones. But I do think context matters. So I want to see NASDAQ take out this liquidity here, trade into Asian session, maybe even get below Asian session lows here, the weekly open, and then that might be the green light for Dow. So NQ getting here gives us a different environment overall, because this is a massive sweep of liquidity if we get back down to here. So yeah, somewhere over here is what makes sense. And then from there, maybe we get some reversals or something. But what this does, either it takes this, either if it's at the same time, it could either bring us down to here maybe, or because we want to wait and just see, or it brings us down even further before another position. All right, so let's see. Because if we are going to look for buys, we want to have a good position. Like, we really want to have the best. One, we want to understand where would the most money get liquidated, and then where would smart money have, I guess, the most liquidity available to make big moves. So if, for example, anyone and everyone right now that has been buying since the open and during Asian session, you're basically up, especially on Dow here. Okay, so look, now we're starting to clear below. Now we're getting into the that first hour. This is that first hour that opens. So let's see how far that takes Dow Jones over here. Because at the end of the day, if there's going to be a buy, it's going to be with Dow. All right. I'm here just kind of sorting out what my contract could look like. So make sure you guys are getting set up with that. Just kind of having the awareness of what your trade could be like. It feels like we're going to go lower with Dow as well. So a couple things we could consider. We may end up going below into here, maybe playing out of this, and then getting one of these guys. Something like that. Let's see where NASDAQ takes us. Let's see. So this is the kind of, at least, patience that I like to have when looking at this. Now, for some of you that were maybe interested in shorts, if I were to short anything, it would probably be NASDAQ at some point. Here's where we started to see the market, and this is pre-New York Open, work its way up a bit more. get up into here. Then we see everything work its way down. And here is New York open. Right here, big move down. First open, down again, and then here we go. So maybe it would be a short somewhere over here. But right now, definitely wouldn't be looking. I'm not looking to short Dow, though. Dow is a lot more bullish just overall. So not looking for that. What we are noticing is with NQ clearing out a lot of that. It got into the imbalance from the weekly open. That's where we're at right here. Curious to see what kind of structure is being created here. Whether it's just here to sweep liquidity and then move on, or something different. If that's the case, which it looks like it could be. Let's take a look at this. All right. So as you guys can see, it clears the lows. Right now it's luring in sellers. There's a lot of resistance building up over here. NQ is doing something similar. Worked its way below. Now it's trading a little bit higher. So this is starting to create a scenario where maybe there's buys that can be taken. We get into right here, right? We get into this candle right there. This is 5 minutes after. So we get into the imbalance. We rebalance structure, weekly open. So we don't get below it, but we do get in the imbalance. So we are now kind of efficient at this area. Price right now is kind of proving itself, whether it's, oh, okay, there is no demand, or there is. Sometimes these trades can play out where all the market wanted to do was rebalance and not get below the open. But considering that we're already losing this kind of momentum here, I want to see the market really prove it's bullish instead of like kind of poke into this and come right back down. So higher probability trade still is waiting for the market to get below the weekly open. Going back to the majors here. Looks like the pound here didn't quite confirm that structure. Maybe it's going to look to just stay bearish. NZD, USD, this is actually building up a lot of liquidity right here. So NZD is more bullish than GU. And then same thing here. Australian actually holding this level pretty well. This is the gold. Here's a gold versus silver chart. I don't know if you guys ever look at this chart, but it kind of shows you how bullish or bearish one is versus the other. Lately, we've been noticing a lot of silver overtake gold here, but now gold got all the way down to this imbalance, and it looks like an area where the market could kind of got to that low. So we might be seeing gold kind of pick up more strength versus silver. So actually looking for gold buys might make more sense long term as well. So if you look at gold, silver here, silver overtook gold in terms of like what's going to be more bullish or more bearish. Since kind of like right over here, looks like we got a distribution. So from like May 7th, we started to see silver just have dominance over gold in terms of like what's more or less bullish, what's more bullish. So when we have this, then we see, okay, gold now had its pullback, it's rebalanced. Gold might start moving more aggressively if it goes up, more bullish versus silver here. So if you're ever kind of looking at gold versus silver, what kind of makes more sense? What's going to be leading the market price? That's one way to do it. All right, so let's see. Oh, okay, natural gas came back. Interesting. Very interesting. So as we had talked about, there was a chance of natural gas playing back into the zone. We saw the reaction here, so it kind of played out of this imbalance. Now coming back to this level. How do we feel about this position? We have the 4 hour, right? So the higher time frame here was the big part of it. It captures liquidity here, sweeps these lows, plays into the zone, and actually gets below these lows before the market rallies. Now we're trading, and the thing is the market efficient over here? That could be an extra thing we take a look at. The market trades decently over here. I needed to have more water this morning. And then we get over here. Everything's pretty effective. We trade into the zone. Get right below, right into there. I mean, it's looking pretty solid. Now we are also trading below the weekly open. We're trading into Thursdays because Thursday was the low. Is it worth a shot? That's really the question. Is it worth taking a shot at it? For me, it met confirmations pretty well. And then we drop pretty aggressive. So I'm going to take a swing at this trade. I'm for it. Let me pull this bad boy up. MNG. Take his position here. Alright. Yeah, I'm down with it. Alright, so let's see. What has happened? Is this not open? I'm like trying to figure out if this thing opened or not. MNG. Why isn't it on my screen? Well, that's odd. All right, well, I just took this trade. I don't know. It's showing up on my positions, but it's not showing up on my chart. Well, all right, anyways. I'm in this. We had a good move here. We're trading into here. Maybe the market wants to go even lower. So maybe you wait for that. But this is already rebalanced. I risk with this because the market traded up to here. And we traded all day. Like, we just got up to this level. I like where we can go with this. I think it's worth considering. So I did take my risk. I took half risk with this setup. And the reason I actually took this in general was just because we had a 4-hour sleep of liquidity. And then looking at the rest of the market here, everything looks relatively efficient. So if it's going to play out, it could play out here pretty well. All right, so let me open this on this other trade over here. All right, we're in it. Okay, what's the update now? So look at how this is interesting. We're seeing Dow work its way further down. We're seeing NASDAQ trade here. Look at how the market structure overall looks very different. Now Dow is pushing lower. NASDAQ is trading up here. So I don't love when the price action starts to flip-flop. One gets more bearish, the other gets more bullish. I prefer to just stay out. I'm going to wait for some of the key areas of liquidity to see if we go and get below this. That's going to be my main focus. Could there be a chance that the market wants to do something like this? Maybe right now. If it does get to this level, again, it'll be a temperature check. Okay, where's Dow? What is that looking like? So I'm gonna give it some time. Let it cook, right? Just let it do its thing. All right, if you did take that natural gas position here, chilling right around entry. Let's see what happens. This might clear this low one more time. We may get a low again, and then maybe we see a rally. Right now, Dow is kind of looking like it got below all this liquidity, and then it's quickly getting right above it again. Outside of that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to look at some crypto. And then I'm going to look at oil before I look at crypto, though. Oil here. Man, we're about to see massive movements here, for sure. Massive movements happening somewhere over here. With this kind of squeeze, yeah. There's a lot of buyers, a lot of sellers. This is going to go wild. On the other hand, if you guys are taking a look at Bitcoin looks like it is just building up tons of positions here. Huge amounts of liquidity building up here as well. This to me looks like it should spike down, get below the beginning of the week as well. Then maybe we see something. But look at how price every time it gets above basically 108, little demand at the moment. So we can find out if we're going to push higher after this liquidity sweep. Then maybe we get to find out what the market really wants over here. And then either it's going to hold this or it's not. But distro is starting, this is either going to do something like that, or it's going to do something like this here, right? And then we keep trading down here. And then we could distro back down to here. And then from here we could go and have a jolly old time. Options. There are options. Okay, Dow pushing lower. And Q chilling now. Big chilling. Okay, interesting. Maybe we end up seeing NASDAQ buys. Because if Dow gets below weekly open, trades in here, and then we see some sort of shakeout play, it could get interesting. Could get very interesting here. Here was the beginning. Opens here, fills this, just plays into this roll. Look at this. We just got into here. Here's where we opened. Chopped up. If we do end up seeing distribution, or if we get confirmation here, then I wonder where that takes us. We may end up seeing dog again, trading below 0035, right up in this area. Even maybe hit 003 again. Yeah, keep an eye out on Bitcoin. I did have this alert go out on, I guess it won't show me anymore. Where are we at? Oh, this one popped off. Robinhood opened really bullish. Where are we? Here we go. It was the solar. Ooh, there we go. Gapping down. What a champ. Okay, so SHLS it's a solar stock that I have my eyes on here. With this one specifically, the market cap is actually pretty small. So this is Shoals. This is like under $1 billion market cap on stocks. It's got pretty good margins, about 35%. Huge backlog, so there's good demand on it. It's basically just around profitable, and it's generating like a positive FCF. So operationally pretty healthy. Balanced mix with industry exposure. So yeah, I like this. Is one that is a super low like market cap for on the stock side of things. So I think it's like a high risk, high reward situation for on the solar side of things. So gapping down to here, playing into some of this imbalance, it looks pretty solid. If I zoom out for you guys. You guys will be able to see kind of where we're at with all this. So this is trading way down here. Obviously, solar is taking a huge hit, especially with just new updates that have come from Trump, etc. So anyways, this is one that I'm looking to add into the portfolio. I'll be doing that actually today. And this is not like a conservative, it's not like you're trading a top 10 and even top 100, not even top 500 stock. So proceed with caution. But one that's on my radar, these are the type of ones that can go and hit, a 3-4x over the course of a year or two. So not something that, I expose a ton of my capital with, but definitely something that's interesting. Let's see what else we got today. Celsius still doing its thing. What's down today? Spotify. Bank of America. Let's see, Boeing. Nike a little bit. Nothing crazy. Everything else relatively chill. Robinhood. Anyone been stacking Robinhood over the course of the year? Look at how different NASDAQ is trading relative to Dow. If Dow gets below weekly open and that gives us a position like around here, then I could be interested in buys with NQ. Because as of right now, if you look at how NASDAQ traded, we basically got a push below liquidity. And then the 1 minute, we're starting to see a break of structure. We'll see if there's demand over here or not. If there is, then maybe this ends up becoming an opportunity for NQ to reaccumulate and push. But that will be very much dependent on what Dow does over here. So what I'll be doing at the conclusion of this, like once I wrap up here, I'm going to be just dropping a post in the exchange. So right here, I'll drop a post recapping today's session, going over excuse me, things that I still have on my radar. And we'll see where we'll go from there. A couple of things with majors, a couple of things with stocks, some indices that we have in play. And what I'll do as well, I'll probably just drop a video so you guys could watch that. I don't know why I haven't thought about doing this, but basically you can just do like a little recap video here. Where is it? Here? Yeah, a little video idea. So I'll probably walk something through here, giving a breakdown of today and what I expect, maybe for the rest of the day or moving forward. And then I'll just publish that on the channel, and then you guys can see if it's aligned to your systems or not. So we'll go over a few different things. But cool. Appreciate you guys for hopping on. If you're not in the community for whatever reason, then definitely feel free to join us. So, boom, there you go. Hit that. Let me just pin that as well. Can you trade oil on Top Step? Yeah. Did we look at natural gas already? Yes, we did. Natural gas right now is... So here we had... Where is it? Basically, my thoughts were the following. All right, here we have it. I thought it could go below again, this low here. I ended up taking an entry like right there, I think. And then we got the initial bounce here. Not quite a mitigation. I think it was more of a rebalance. And then now it worked its way below into this area. So I think where we're at right now is probably a better indication of what the market can do. So from here, I think we could see the market make its move. The move to the downside was starting from there. So this is, you see the market drop from these highs, like what is that? 13 cents or so. So a mitigation, the move to the upside, I think would be something similar. Minimum, we get a move like that, maybe clearing this liquidity. From there, everything else would be bonus, and then that's at that point, fucking A, would be just a mitigation and see where we go from there. So keep your eye on this. If it clears this high, that's probably when you can look to move your stop to break even. Now, it's a big if it clears that high. We obviously know there's absolutely no guarantee to that. So that's the position. So either you took your position here or you waited it to get into this imbalance, and then maybe you have one now. If you do have one now, your risk reward is really solid. But yeah, that's natural, guys. Anyways, I'm going to record a quick recap video to make so that people can kind of be on board, and then that'll be published on YouTube. You guys will see a post about it here in a little bit right there. So enjoy that, guys. Appreciate you all for hopping on. Make sure you hit the like button on this stream so we can keep giving people free value. This is totally, absolutely for free. Make sure you guys are also going through all of the courses that are available here. I'll be opening up more from the vault. And in order to level up to get into the vault, you just have to be active in the community. When your comments and your posts get liked, then it levels you up in the community. And shout out to the top 5 right now in the community: Seth, Jenny, Rosemary, Fabricio, and Isaiah. And we can see that we have Gabriel, Anita, Brandon, Tommaso, Dajuan, and Edgar in here. So you guys are going to unlock more and more. And big news, guys. I will be sharing. You guys are going to see the merch finally drop. So stay on the lookout, because they do have a lot coming out here. So stay on the lookout. You got some cool things happening. And then if I were you, I would rack up some points in the community. We might just see active people in this last 7 days be rewarded. So just something to have in mind here moving forward. All right. So anyways, if you guys took any trades, if you have anything that you're looking for, just drop a post. Drop a post in here. Keep a radar. You could also use this as an accountability system. So if you're looking to better your habits as a trader, start your own thread in here. I like to see it. And, I go ahead and here and I respond to different things, different setups, different questions, and things of that nature. So let's run it up. All right, guys, we'll stay in the loop, and I'll see you tomorrow. We'll be back here again. Have a great day. Peace.